Hey guys, it's Brian with Raxis. I wanted to take a few minutes to chat with you here today on this beautiful Friday afternoon. You know, when you hack for a living, when you do this stuff, you work in adversarial stuff. You know, you do these things, you break into places and whatever. It's pretty cool. I won't lie, it's pretty cool. But it's not glamorous, and you do see the same thing over and over and over again. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. When we do engagements, we see a lot of the same stuff repeated. We see a lot of the same mistakes. We see a lot of the same misconfigurations, a lot of the same vulnerabilities that, you know, if you don't have the basic block and tackle down, that's what gets discovered on the pen test. And you kind of take away emphasis on going deeper and finding the stuff that's more subtle that you're paying a skilled professional for. So, with that in mind, I want to help you guys clean up some of this stuff before you do the pen test. So that you have your ducks in a row, and we can look at the smaller ducks, the ducks that are hiding in the corners. Let's talk about password management. Password management, by far and away, the most significant vulnerability we see. I can't think of a vulnerability where, or an assessment rather, where we did not get in at some point with use of a bad password. Somewhere along every single engagement that we've done, where we've got admin or we've got privilege escalation, almost always a bad password somewhere along the line has come into play. It's just pervasive. It's just pervasive. And guys, if you're still using password 123, and I promise you people are, I've seen it as most recently as last week, I don't know what to tell you. You got to get within the curve. There are standards for passwords. These are things like null passwords. Passwords aren't set at all. Default passwords. Passwords that are too small or too weak or too short or not complex enough. These are just, you know, basic stuff, guys. There's recommendations. NIST has recommendations. CIS has recommendations. Please get your password stuff in order. Another thing that's really common is help desks. When you have your password reset by the support desk, right? Many times they will set the same password, and so if the user doesn't change that password, guess what? That password, like winter 2020 or something like that, will appear all over the place if the help desk is using that as a password reset number. So passwords, critical. Get those squared up. The next thing I'll talk about is really a broad subject, social engineering. Now there are a myriad of social engineering attacks, and we do a lot of social engineering. We do very flavorful different mixes of social engineering as well. The most common and the most effective that we use most frequently is phishing. So I'll give you an example. We were doing a red team engagement. Red team is when you just kind of go all out. You know, they don't want to know what's coming. They want to have a full war games type of assessment. We're doing one of those a couple weeks ago. And this company really had its act together. Really did. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you see those. And we tried phishing as a last resort. You know, it was Thursday afternoon. We're like, man, I don't know what to do. We got to wrap this thing up tomorrow. Phish them. And we did. And we got creds. So somewhere along the line, it doesn't matter how robust your firewall is, how complex your monitoring is, how detailed and tuned your alerting is, someone will click on a link that says they get their Christmas bonus. I mean, it just happens. So with the social engineering, it turns from vigilance to detection and awareness, right? So social engineering is not an easy vulnerability to mitigate, and it's an ongoing process. So give us a call. We can help you with that, help you stand up a security process that can minimize your exposure to social engineering. You'll never be immune from it, but we can minimize it. Third one, this is the top three, vulnerability management. And that's also a big plate of stuff. But let me tell you, vulnerability management is absolutely critical. Frequently, very frequently, we see machines that are misconfigured. We see machines that are configured with, the guest account is enabled. We see machines that are vulnerable to recent O-Day releases or recent exploits, such as Blue Keep, things like that have patches available for them, but they're not patched. We see machines like Windows XP. I mean, it wasn't but a month ago, and you technical types will get a kick out of this, you hacker types, we saw MS-08-067, which is a really robust attack that's from 2008, right? We were stunned. So vulnerability management, the process of managing your environment and making sure the machines are patched regularly does a lot of good for you. First of all, it knocks down a low-hanging fruit for us, right? So we can't hit these things with direct exploits. We have to use our heads. It makes for a rough week, but it's better in the long term for you guys. And it also allows you, if your environment is patched and a big O-day drops, a zero-day attack basically, something that doesn't have a patch for it that's virulent, that can cause real problems in the environment, an O-day in other words. If something like that drops, then you have agility. You can go and patch your environment because you're caught up on patches and you won't have the issue of dependency. So many times when you patch an environment and it's not patched for a very long time, you just can't patch it. Oh, no. There's like 5 other patches that have to be applied in order for the latest one to be active. So those are the top 3 things we see all the time. So I would advise you guys, if you're considering a pen test, and I urge you to, I urge everyone to consider pen tests and assessments and simulations and whatnot as part of their security practice. Before you go down that road, make sure you've got the 1, 2, 3 squared up. And I'll tell you this too, we have a top 10. Top 10. We went further than that. I want to help you guys fix the most top 10 things in your environment that are vulnerable. And if you want that list, go ahead and click this link right here or right here, somewhere in that realm, and we'll get you that. So until then, I hope you guys take care. Have a great one.